In today's video, we're going to take a look at the Gutenberg editor coming up. Hello everyone and welcome. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the WordPress Gutenberg editor. Now, this editor is very important because there are cases where you're going to need to use the Gutenberg editor instead of the Divi builder, especially if you're using the theme builder. So let's dive in and let me show you how this actually works. All right, so over here, I'm on my WordPress website. I'm just going to come over here to pages. Now, just to let you know, this Gutenberg editor can be found on the post or pages. So you can either go to the post here or pages. So I'm just going to come over here to pages and click on add new. And by the way, you can use this on an existing page. So let's just call this editor. And instead of using the Divi builder here, we're going to go and use the default editor. Right. So how this works is we have all our blocks and which are pretty much similar to your modules in Divi. So here, what is important is to take a look at this plus button. So we see it here on the top left. We also see it here on the side. So when you click here, this is where you get a list of all the blocks that you can use. So for example, you have the paragraph, you have image, heading, and so on. So you can either use it from here or you can add it from here on the top. Okay, so if I click on that, and let's say we want to add a heading, so you can just click here on heading, and then you can just say, this is a heading. Right, so the workflow with this is, now that we have this heading, to make changes to this, we need to take a look here over to the right. So as you can see here, we have block activated. So usually we have document and block. So document just controls pretty much the whole document or the whole page. But we want to take a look here at the block because this is what controls this heading. So we have a few things here to work with. We can change this to heading 1. So you can see here it's gone bigger. We can come over here to color settings and set our colors. So just to show you quickly how these colors can be changed, you can see here as I click around here, this is the colors changing. If you want to clear it, you can just clear it over here. Well, we also have the advanced options, which we can use here with CSS. So you can come over here, add some CSS classes and so on. So basically, this is just pretty much how the heading works. Now, let's say I need to add something else. I can just click here, and this time let's add an image. So I can upload an image from my media library, or I can upload one from the computer, or even from a URL. So let's do this from my media library. So I'm going to come over here, and the image I'm going to use is going to be, let's go with this one here. Select. So now my image is here. So you may be thinking, okay, so are there any sort of modifications that I can do to this image? Absolutely. If we take a look here again, the block is activated. So I can change my image size here. So currently it's set to large. I can set it to medium. I can set it to full size. And I can also play around here with my dimensions. So let's say I need to use 50% of the image. I can just select 50 or 75 or even 100. But as you see, 100 now takes us out of this frame, which is not very good. So I'm just going to hit reset here just to keep everything in my document. So we also have additional CSS here, and we can also add a caption. So I'm just going to call this my city. So that's my caption for that image. So as you can see, we are slowly building our page with all these blocks. All right, so now that we have this all set, the next step is to add another block. So this time I'm going to add a page break, right? So you can see here, I've added my page break. We can also add a divider. Now, while I have this here, let's say I've changed my mind and I need to go in and change this. I can always click on it and you see these three little dots here. If I click on these dots, I can go in and remove the block just like that. So this is how we can play around with these. All right, so let's move on and let's add another block here. So I'm going to click on this plus button. And now we notice that we also have common blocks here. We have formatting, we have layout elements and so on. So let's see what we have here on layout elements. So here we have the more block. We also have the separator. So let's say I need to add a separator here. I can go in now and do some adjustments to this. So all I can do here is the color. So you can see I've just added a color there. If I go into the advanced, we have the CSS. So as you can see, it's very limited as to what I can really add in there. So let's remove that. click on this plus button and let's see what else we can add here. When we go here on our formatting, we can add a pull quote, you can add code, you can add your custom HTML and so on. So, I mean, it's very, very versatile. We have quite a lot to work with here. So let's say I need to add a button. Let me show you what the button looks like. So here I can add, let's call this my new button. Right. So with this activated, you can see here on my block, I can change a few things over here. I can add a background color, my text color. So you can see here, I can play around with different colors. And then over here, I can add a solid background color, just like that. Now over here on the gradient, I can also add a gradient to my color. So you can see here, if I choose that, this becomes now my gradient for the button. But to be honest, I'm not really a fan of these gradients, although they look really cool sometimes. All right, so over here, you can adjust the angle and we can also play around here with the border radius. So let's say you want to have a button with a bit of rounded corners. You can go ahead and adjust the radius here. Now, this is where you'd add your link, and we can also set this to open in a new tab, which is highly recommended for usability purposes. All right, so moving on. So here with the button selected, there's a few things I can do as well. I can click on these three little dots. I can duplicate this button here. So you can see here I have two. And if I click here, I can also add two reusable blocks. Let's say you're using these blocks over and over, the button over and over again. You can go in and add it over here. Okay, so let's move on and let's add more items here. So this time I want to show you a quick tip to add all your blocks. So instead of finding this plus button and clicking it every time, you can just add a / and then you can start searching for the block that you may need. So in this case, let's say I want to add some text. I can just do that, and then we have media and text. I can just go ahead and select that, and then I can start adding all my content. So here I can add an image, and then over here on the content, let's go to our lorem 2 and grab some dummy text. So for my content here, I'm just going to grab a little bit of text to add to that. So I'm going to paste it in here. And there you go. I have my image here and my text over here to the side. Now let's say I need to go in and customize this. You can see here I have my preset. It's set to large. I can go here and set it to medium. And with that selected, I can also add my custom size here to my font. As you can see here, color settings, I can add my colors. So if I need to make it black, I can just go in and add my color just like that. Okay, so there's quite a lot here we can add into our editor. And also I want to show you something really cool here, which is the drag and drop. So let's say I need to move this to a different position here on my page. I can just drag it and let go. And now you can see my buttons now are here on the bottom. So this is how you can easily go in and drag and drop. Now let's see other items that we can use here. So I'm going to click here again on this plus button, or in fact, let's use the simple trick that I've just shown you, which is the /, and then you can start typing. Now what I'm going to show you next here is the Divi layout. So we can also add Divi modules in this. So let's say I go here to build a new layout. I can just click here and then I can use my Divi layouts, which I think is really, really cool because if there are things or features that are missing from the Gutenberg library, you can just use the Divi libraries if you have it installed. So I'm going to click here on build from scratch, single column. And let's say here we're going to go with a video. I'm going to add my video here. I'm going to add an overlay image. So the image I'm going to go with is, let's go with this one here. Upload an image. Okay, there we go. So next I can go ahead and do, all my customizations here. Let's say I need to perhaps maybe change the size of my icon here. I can just make it smaller, save that. And when you save this and exit, notice what happens. I'm going to have this video player now in the Gutenberg editor. So this is how you can use the Gutenberg editor with also the Divi modules. Okay, so pretty much this summarizes how the Gutenberg editor works. You can use all these blocks, and the most important thing here is if you want to add new blocks, there's this plus button here, which you can use to add a block, and we have plenty of blocks here to work with. You also have WooCommerce, so you can actually use WooCommerce here with just the Gutenberg editor, so which is very, very powerful. In fact, I'm going to do a video whereby I showcase how to use WooCommerce with the Gutenberg editor. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I have for you in today's video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again in the next video. Take care.